Hello everybody, this is Christian, Pokemon Champion, here with another challenge. The beating Pokemon Fire Red with only Abra challenge. Now the rules. Just like before, I can only use Abra to deal any damage in battle. Of course, other Pokemon will be on my team, but for HM use only. I can't use any items during battle except held items. And winning the game will be defined as defeating the champion of Kanto. Abra has a base stat of 310. The average base stat for the regular Psychic Pokemon is 480.93, so Abra isn't too good. Their HP and physical defense are not the greatest. With a relatively low special defense, Abra does not handle hits very well. His physical attack does affect how I play toward the beginning of the game. Despite all this, its special attack and speed make it a formidable force. Abra is infamous for its lack of move choices, just like Beldum, having access to only teleport through leveling up. They are, on the other hand, able to learn moves through the use of move tutors and TMs. This is already much better than my last two challenges. Kricketot and Beldum can't learn moves. The problem with this set of TMs, however, is that I won't be able to obtain one that Abra can learn until after the first gym, leaving me with just struggle. Again. To begin with, I made sure that I made Abra my starter in place of Squirtle because I wanted my rival to have a Pokemon that I had a type advantage. I asked my mother what to call my Abra, and she chose Uhura, Uhura, Ishimi, Uhura from Star Trek. Next is the fight with the rival. The only move that Uhura knows is teleport, so of course I lose. Cheating stinking Elihu! But since winning this Pokemon only disappoints Professor Oak, I can continue on with the challenge. I immediately train since I will aware ahead of time that I will have to be at a high level to beat the first obstacle. Just like the Kricketot challenge, I'm forced to drain my PP. Ha, I said PP. To get to struggle. At level 20, I attempted Brock for the first time. Not that surprised that I lost. I don't really like it, but I trained in Route 22, which have Minkies. Minkies give out attack EVs, which is what I needed at this point to increase the strength of struggle. In the long run, training the attack stat on Abra is useless since the physical attack will eventually not be utilized with the advent of actual attacking moves later on. The problem is that Brock, Geodude, and Onix have such high defense, but once I got to level 25, I was able to take his Onix down. Continuing on, I went to Mount Moon. I'm well aware of what's here. I went straight for the TM for Thief. Finally, I don't have to use Struggle anymore. Alright, I'll tell you this time. I chose the... Before I go to the next town, I do take the time to teach Uhura Mega Kick and Mega Punch. This gives me more attacks to work with. Before I fight the rival, I wanted to see where I was in terms of strength against Misty, so I beat her on the first try. Smell you later, Felicia. Now watch as I transform this Clefairy into a human being! Has anyone noticed that Bill says that he was accidentally combined with a Pokemon, but when he turns back into a human, Clefairy disappears? Where'd he go? I do want to mention one thing before I continue on. This challenge was ultimately easy regarding most of the battles, with the exception of a few particular battles that will be explained later on. However, there was one specific Pokemon that I just had the worst time with. Magneton. This was due to his tankiness and my weak physical attack. This random Pokemon trainer had won, and I just couldn't beat him. And I have no idea if I ever did. Now back to Mega Punching everything in the face.
Pokemon Punch!
Faja! Smell you later, Felicia. Next is Lieutenant Serge. I thieved, is that even a word? Voltorb after Lieutenant Serge used a super potion. Uhura was paralyzed after Pikachu was taken down. I was worried about double team, but I got lucky with my accuracy and took down Raichu. Lieutenant Serge gave me the TM for Shockwave. I'll probably keep this until the end of the game. Smell you later, Felicia. In Celadon City, I taught Uhura counter. I figured that since my defense was so low, I might as well punish my opponent for attacking. While beating some rocket nerds, I found black glasses, which I figured would give a slight boost to my thief. Oh, I just lost. Let me just drop these keys here for ya. Super shady, bro. Next is Erica. In 2 hits, Victory Bell was down. Tangela in 1, and Vileplume paralyzed me. With Uhura's ability, they get paralyzed too. That's what you get! With counter, I defeated Vileplume. I did a Bill Murray and busted a ghost. Ghost Nappa! Afterwards, I taught Uhura Return over Mega Punch. I figured that at this point, Uhura liked me enough as a trainer to make Return stronger than Mega Punch. I got the Warden's Pimp Teeth, and next was Koga. Now, I actually had some trouble with this gym. Being poisoned in a single Pokemon challenge, coupled with the fact that poison-type moves were physical in Gen 3, made it difficult to defeat several opponents. But once I wasn't poisoned by Muck, I was able to take down Weezing in 2 hits and survive. Now that I had enough money, I obtained Shadow Ball at the game corner, of which will be very useful for the rest of the game. I found a TM tutor who taught Thunder Wave, so I taught it to Uhura in place of counter. Lastly, I was given the TM for Psychic and replaced Thief. Smell you later, Felicia. Next is Sabrina. With Shadow Ball and Psychic, all of Sabrina's Pokemon were taken out in just 1 hit. In defeating her, I obtained Calm Mind. Next time. Off to the next gym. Other than Arcanine, which was a scare with his Fire Blast, all his Pokemon were taken down in 1 hit. Seriously guys, nothing is too hard for Uhura. I got stuck not knowing what to do in the Numbered Island mission. Why won't you fight me? After looking up a tutorial, I'm able to finish this mission. Next is the final gym. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, 5 Pokemon taken down in one hit. That wasn't the best impersonation. Smile you later, Felicia. I had some difficulty figuring out how to get out of Victory Road, but again, after I looked up a tutorial, I found my way out. I just didn't see that ladder. You'd think after beating this game dozens of times I would know that by now. Now it's time to face the Elite Four. I begin with at level 74. First off is Lorelei. 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 All I see is our eyes and knees. Thinking that Shockwave would be enough to beat all her water Pokemon, I was surprised to see that Lapras really took it well. It seemed to me that Uhura needed to be just a little bit stronger to beat her, so I used 5 rare candies to get to level 79. Because of this, Lapras was defeated in 2 hits. Closer was shocked that I defeated him in 1, so I used Surf, which was also taken down. Last was Jinx. It was after I used 2 Shadow Balls following Jinx putting me to sleep, and used 2 full restores when I defeated her. I hope the rest of the Elite Four isn't as hard as Lorelei. Bruno was next. Predictably, he was easy. Psychic defeated Onix, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, hit me! The second Onix, and Machamp in 1 hit. Agatha was just as easy as Bruno, other than Golbat losing to 2 Shockwaves, Gengar, Arbok, the second Gengar, and Haunter all lost to Psychic. Dang, this is easy. Nobody's stronger than Abra. Oh, because of Abra's super weak defense, and Hyper Beam being a very strong physical attack in Gen 3, it took Aerodactyl to miss me to beat him. Next was... oh, come on! Along with having to defeat Aerodactyl, I had to beat a Dragonite who also has Hyper Beam, which also KOs me in 1 hit. After many attempts, I was able to beat Aerodactyl with a critical hit. I paralyzed Dragonite, in hopes that his attacks would be stalled. Lance used a full restore, but I suppose my next 2 Psychics had a high roll for damage and defeated Dragonite. His final 2 Dragonairs were both defeated in 1 Psychic each. At least I know that Elihu will be easy since he was a pushover for almost the entire game. Wait, what? For the most part, his Pidgeot and Gyarados weren't too difficult. It was Arcanine. The stinking Arcanine was specifically the toughest Pokemon in the game. This was because of extreme speed. Because this move is a high priority move, I can't outspeed it. Furthermore, it's almost strong enough to take me out in 1 hit. I know that doesn't sound as bad as Hyper Beam earlier. I will always get KO'd before I can land 2 hits. And even when I occasionally beat Arcanine, Alakazam takes me out thereafter. Do I have to start over and grind? I decided to experiment with a couple different strategies before I made this decision. I tried using the Attract tactic, where I would use both Thunder Wave and Attract to immobilize Arcanine, preventing him from using extreme speed. This never tended to work, however. How about an Oranberry to help out? No, it didn't really affect the outcome. How about that Calm Mind I got from defeating Sabrina? Done! I used 1 Calm Mind and beat both Pidgeot and Gyarados in 1 hit. Then this happened. Ave Maria. Arcanine went down and I took no damage. This means that I can now fight the rest of the team with full health. Venusaur is down with 1 Psychic. Alakazam wasted a turn with Reflect, not the smartest Pokemon in the world, and was defeated with 2 Psychics. And this is it. I beat his final Pokemon in 1 hit. Smile you later, Felicia. Overall, this challenge took me only 2 nights to win, and practically everyone except Brock's Onix, Koga's Poison, Lance's Hyper Beam, and Elihu's Extreme Speed, and a random Magneton, this was the easiest challenge yet. I needed a breather after the former 2. Abra was put into the Hall of Fame along with Kricketot and Beldum, with an in-game count of 38 hours and 5 minutes. But before I finish the video, it's time to find out who's the strongest Psychic Pokemon in the world, Mewtwo or Abra. Oh. Let me try this again. With a critical hit, Uhura just proved that she is the strongest, specifically Psychic type, Pokemon, specifically from Gen 1. Thanks for watching. If you like my content, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any suggestions for improvement, feel free to comment below. Alright, bye Felicias.